Hello everyone and welcome to another review. Today we're going to go ahead and review a fragrance that was released in the year 2010. The fragrance is a flanker, one of many flankers of this sucker, and we're talking about Le Male Terrible. Now, Le Male Terrible, or Terrible, Terrible, whatever you want to call it, is a fragrance that, like I mentioned, is a flanker. The bottle design is very similar to the other Le Males and the original Le Male. One of the main differences, and it looks actually, I think it's a pretty interesting design, is it's got a little chain around its neck that has a little razor blade to kind of go with that terrible vibe or anything like that. Now, the design itself, again, similar colorway, slightly different as you've seen from the pictures below. But with that, let's go ahead and get right into the prices of it. The prices, it comes in three main sizes, just like the original. The first one is a 1.2, which is available for $52. The 2.5, which is for $69, and the 4.2, which is going to run you $90. So those are the designer or the retail prices. Shop around, see if you can find it a lot cheaper. I've still seen it at Sephora, but I've also seen it at some discount sites for a little bit cheaper. So do some searching, and you could possibly get a deal on this one. As always, beware of fakes. All right, let's get into the notes of this fragrance. The notes of this fragrance consist of, at our top, we've got grapefruit and pink pepper. For our mid, we have lavender and vetiver. And for our base, we have vanilla and amber. All right, so when I tried this and, began testing with it, the first thing that came to mind was immediately, oh, this smells like Le Male. This is Le Male. This is, Le Male redone, basically. And that was the first thing that immediately came to mind. And it was through testing it a little bit more that I finally began to realize, oh no, you know what? This isn't a complete carbon copy of Le Male. And I started having to test it side by side to kind of see what I mean. Now, what I mean by that is you immediately get this blast of lavender and vanilla. Those are the two most prominent things that you get immediately from it. With the original Le Male, you get a little bit more of a minty note that comes within it, and it starts becoming this powdery scent. Le Male Terrible differs itself in that you don't get that mint note. Instead, you get like a citrus note, which gives it a lighter type of a feel to it. You also don't get that powdery kind of feel that comes from the original Le Male. This one goes a little bit more of an ambery type of a feel to it. Overall, the scent comes across as it's kind of like a juxtaposition between light and dark. It's at the same time, it still retains that dirtiness that the original Le Male has, and I attribute it to the lavender scent, the type of the lavender scent that comes from it. But outside of that dirtiness, it still retains one of the main properties of Le Male, which I love, and that's the fact of the dry down. Give it about an hour or two and let those notes calm down, and it gives way to this very beautiful vanilla, amber, and spicy type of a scent that sticks with you. I like the original Le Male a little bit better, but I can see where there are people who like this one better than the original. I can see where that's coming from, because this one, it's a little bit more wearable and it's a little bit more lighthearted than the original one is, which is a good thing. The couple other notes, it doesn't necessarily project as much. It doesn't necessarily have the power that the original one has. The original one, notorious on my skin, this easily lasts 24 hours, whereas this one, it lasts, I would say, roughly between 7 and 9 hours, which is not bad at all. It's still a great lasting scent, but not as lasting as the original. I go about 3 sprays on this one. It's a good fall and winter scent. It's also a good scent for casual occasions. It's a good scent for work. This is one that I did wear to work with some good success, which gave me some compliments actually with this. The downside to the compliments is they thought I was wearing Le Male. People are familiar with the Le Male scent. It's been around for a while. Some people identified it. Oh, are you wearing that scent with the man design, the man bottle, basically, and that's how they identified the Le Male. So that was actually pretty interesting to see. Did get compliments, but they thought it was a Le Male. So most people couldn't tell the difference right off the bat that I was wearing actually a flanker of Le Male. All right? So that may be a good thing, that may be a bad thing. I'm not sure which way you want to actually take it. This is good for any age group. And overall, it's a good projecting scent that is people are going to smell you, no matter how, I guess you could say, like 5 to 7 feet away, they're going to smell you. So this is a good projecting scent. It's a little bit more, it's more than arm's length, basically, that they're going to be able to smell you, which is a good thing. in the case of this fragrance itself. All right. So if I'm going to go ahead and give this fragrance a rating, I give it a rating at 8 out of 10. I think this is a good release from the house of Jean-Paul Gaultier, but the problem with this fragrance is that it smells too much like Le Male. If you have the original Le Male, and by original I mean not the one that's been released in the recent years, because that's been reformulated, I think you're better off with the original. This does have its nice little tinge to it, but I'm not sure if it necessarily would justify a completely new fragrance purchase. Now, if you are a person who has the more recent version of Le Male, then I would say this is probably a better bet than the more recent reformulated, watered-down version of it. But overall, if you don't have the scent at all, and you have the opportunity, go with the original Le Male. If not, this is a good option for it. The price is comparable, and overall, a good release, and that's why it gets an 8 out of 10. It doesn't really stand out or anything like that, but I say that being one who has smelled Le Male and a lot of its other flankers, so I'm not really, it's a little bit harder to impress me from it, but I do think that it's a solid enough release. It is a little bit different enough that if you're a fragrance collector, you might want to get it, but if you're not a fragrance collector, you probably, and you already have Le Male, there's really no point to actually getting this. All right? So that's pretty much it. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. There are some people I know who have said outright that this smells much different than the original Le Male. I'm of the different mindset. I don't think this smells much different than the original, but that's just me. These are all our opinions, and take it with a grain of salt. All right? Thanks, guys. You guys take care of yourselves and have a great day.